All our attempts at subterfuge had been in vain. With ice in my heart, I watched him prepare to defend me. His intense concentration betrayed no hint of doubt, though he was outnumbered. I knew that we could expect no help. At this moment, his family was fighting for their lives just as surely as he was for ours. Would I ever learn the outcome of that other fight? Find out who the winners and the losers were? Would I live long enough for that? The odds of that didn't look so great. Black eyes, wild with their fierce craving for my death, watched for the moment when my protector's attention would be diverted. The moment when I would surely die. Somewhere, far, far away in the cold forest, a wolf howled. This is going to be a shit show. Charlie and Billy and Jacob are doing this whole second grade note passing thing. Okay. So my house smelled like it was burning down before, so I came downstairs and discovered that Charlie, you remember him, he's my dad, he was cooking, which doesn't happen. I cook. I know, I was just as shocked as you are. The afternoons are the worst part of my day. Edward can only come from 7 to 9:30, thanks to Charlie, but Charlie's sitting there, awkwardly watching us the entire time, so it's not really that fun. And I have no way of doing anything on my own. I can't form thoughts of things to do by myself until 7, so I literally just sit in my room and look at the wallpaper dry. And you know what else is fun? Like, Edward comes into my room every night, and it's like, it's good because even though he just sits there watching me sleep, it's still good to know that he's just standing over me, watching me sleep. I mean, who doesn't, you know, like everybody does that with their boyfriend and girlfriend like thing, right? Like, Charlie started reading the news, and I don't know why, because it always just ticks him off. He doesn't, I don't know what's wrong with him. Charlie decided to tell me how there's 5 unsolved homicides in Seattle, which is always a fun subject to discuss over dinner. It's funny because in Phoenix, I'm sure there's a lot more homicides, but I'm still alive. Well, now that I'm in Forks, I'm gonna die probably any day, but in Phoenix, it's... As I was waiting for Edward, I started to read Wuthering Heights for the 52nd time. Edward has some serious issues with the classics, though. Like, he thinks he knows what he's talking about, but he doesn't. Edward has a lot of issues, actually. Charlie went all parental on me, saying that his big ploy was to soften me up. That's why he made dinner. Fail. He brought up Jacob, too. Why? Why would he bring up Jacob? He thinks he knows what's going on with me and Jacob, but he doesn't know anything ever, and we're gonna keep it that way. He told me today that I'm not grounded anymore, so that's good. Now I can spend even more time with Edward. And as much as you think I enjoy going to school, it's all of my friends are like good versus evil, you know, us. It's us versus them, essentially. Because I'm friendly. I talk to people besides Edward. I talk to you guys. Charlie told me to make plans with Angela. But Angela and Ben are always together. Kind of like me and Edward. But it's different. Because they're not us. Nobody is. Oh, and then he said that if I had more of a life outside of Edward, it wouldn't have been as bad when he left. No, it would have been exactly like that. Charlie kept saying, you know, keep it balanced, keep it balanced. You know, fuck you, Charlie. I don't see why I should make friends, because I am going to become a vampire. Like, ASAP after graduation, so... And I can't be around anybody when I'm a vampire, because I'm going to kill everybody. And that's usually frowned upon, I think, so... So what was the better course of action? Spend time with them while I could? Or start the separation now to make it more gradual? I'm quailing at the idea of the second option. And then he kept talking about Jacob, but I stopped listening. Maybe that could be my power. Maybe my vampire power could be, like, I could have the ability to stop listening to everyone's stupid comments. Charlie desperately wants me to become friends with Jacob again. If he only knew the shit that goes on. Like, anyway. With Jacob, there's a conflict. A conflict about the friendship thing, I mean. Friendship doesn't always seem to be enough for Jake. Then Charlie said that I'm hurting Jake's feelings by, ignoring him. I'm pretty sure Jake doesn't want to be friends at all. I mean, honestly, Charlie and Billy gossip like old women. Like, all they do is talk about me and Jake. Oh, and on a positive note, even though there aren't many positive notes on the piano of my life, I got accepted to the University of Alaska Southeast. Doesn't that roll off the tongue? I don't want to go there, except because the only reason I would go to the University of Alaska Southeast is because it's not cheap at all. But it's far away so that I can, like, chill after I'm a vampire. It's in the handbook. You can get it on Amazon. So I fully intend on going to the University of Alaska Southeast, but Edward wants me to go to Dartmouth. Like, what the fuck, no. I can't even get in. I can't get into Dartmouth, so... And he's gonna, pay so much money? No. I want to be a vampire, and I'm gonna be a vampire. Everybody seems to be ignoring the fact that I am going to become a vampire, which is annoying, but I know I'm going to become a vampire, so that's why I'm not making any plans that Charlie wants me to make. So then Edward finally showed up after I was just doing nothing, sitting staring at the wall. I don't know if I told you guys, but Edward has a face that any male model in the world would trade his soul for. You know, people would want to trade souls for looks. Wouldn't you? And he brought me more applications, like, really, Edward? Like, he pretends to me that I'm not going to become a vampire. I don't get it. And he told Charlie how he was accepted to Syracuse, Harvard, Dartmouth, and the University of Alaska Southeast, which he'll probably conveniently go to as well. And Edward seems to think that there's no danger in me becoming a vampire. No danger? Sure. I only had a sadistic vampire trying to avenge her mate's death with my own, preferably through some slow and torturous method. Right, no reason at all to panic. Edward and Jacob need to end this feud immediately. I knew that I had to be patient with Edward. It wasn't that he was unreasonable, it was just that he didn't understand. He doesn't really understand much. He has no idea how much I owe Jacob Black, my life many times over, and quite possibly my sanity too. Edward thinks that he's going to keep me and Jacob apart, but I have to see him, so we'll see how that goes. Okay.
Sounds like you say black guys. I love it.
I love it too. Alright, ready? Fuck, I feel like we're doing like a live show. Okay. Yeah. Good.
Huh?
Good.
As good as it could be, huh?
School is always fun.
School is
Math
always
is the
fun.
best part of the day.
It is the best part of the day.
What is the opposite day today?
Clever. What? I should just... Wait, where am I? What? Wait, what? Okay.
Quail.
Quailed at the idea.
It's quailing. It's gotta be.
Well, if it's past
LOL.
quail is quail.
LOL, quail. Dennis Quaid.